Hello there, Rosalind. Are you available? Did you mention anything recently?
Is it possible that I said something? I can't think of any. Why do you inquire? Do you believe you heard me say something?
I just thought I heard you say something to me as I was leaving the house. But I've been half asleep since last night. So nothing happened?
I don't believe I mentioned anything, nor do I believe anything weird has occurred. I'm sorry you're having such odd feelings about things.
So, just tell me what it is you want to tell me. I'm sure you have something to say to me, so say it.
I can only think of one thing that might be worth telling you. Yesterday, I received a message from an old friend with whom I studied abroad.
So, there is someone you haven't actually spoken to in what time period? 10 years?
In fact, it will have been 11 years. But, in any case, she appears to have elected to remain in Germany, where she has lately obtained permanent residency. But she contacted me to let me know that she will be returning home for a short vacation next month, and asked if I wanted to meet up when she was here.
Oh, I see. That sounds like a lot of fun. And you might inquire about what it's like to live in a country such as Germany?
Yes, but I'd have to drive quite a distance to meet up with her, and the only day she claims she'll be available is Sunday. And you already know how I feel about leaving the house unoccupied for that long. Plus, because school would be out, I'd have to bring Kiera with me.
What exactly are you referring to? I'll stay at home and care for Kiera. You should go see your pal. That sounds like a fantastic time.
Wait, what? Are you sure about this? You don't mind if I went to meet her?
Of course, we'll stay home and keep an eye on the house while you go out and have some fun. It's actually not a problem at all.
It's just that I recall you saying how much you dislike having to babysit all day, so I didn't want to presume you would.
Yes, but that was a long time ago when Kiera was a baby, and I had no idea what I was doing. But, besides, I was only complaining, and I wasn't serious.
Is that true? So I think I misunderstood. Okay then, if you don't mind, that would be fantastic.
Who do you think I am? Did you honestly believe I wouldn't keep an eye on my own child? I'm confident I'll be able to handle it.
It's not that I didn't believe you could accomplish it. I guess I was astonished that you recommended it.
So I believe there are still some aspects of me that I can surprise you with. Besides, I believe that was a lot more energetic before we married. I mean, I used to think you were really amazing.
Do you believe it was because I was unmarried and you were attracted to me? But certainly, life was much more liberating before marriage.
And you used to have so many friends and travel so much more. But it seems like you haven't gone out much since we got married. I'm concerned that you're overly stressed. But, if you truly wanted to, I wouldn't object if you went out more and did stuff with people you like.
Wait a minute. You really mean it? You don't mind if I went out more?
No way. Why would you ever consider it? Furthermore, it appears that you will not be able to see this friend for a long time. So you should take advantage of the opportunity while you still have it.
Okay, if you truly don't mind, I'll take you up on your offer and go see my friend.
Perfect. I wish you a great time. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions.
I will. Thank you once more. I can't believe how much fun this will be. 1 month later. Hello there. I just wanted to let you know that I finally saw my pal. Oh, and I forgot to give Kiera her medicine this morning. Could you please do that? It should be on the medicine cabinet's top shelf. I'm sure Kiera could point it out for you if you don't know which bottle it is.
Medicine? What precisely do you mean? What kind of drug are you referring to?
So she got that cold yesterday, right? So we have medicine that we must administer to her after she has eaten.
Yes, I see. That's not going to work because I have to go to the office today. Can you believe it? They called me in to work on a Sunday.
Oh, you're at work now. What happened to Kiera? Where did you leave her?
Don't worry about Kiera. I just dropped her off with Ariel.
Wait a minute. Do you mean my sister? Was she there? She didn't mind being asked to keep an eye on Kiera.
Yes, I guess she's always home on weekends. She's usually working in her garden,
But I still feel horrible for her. I mean, being asked to babysit someone unexpectedly, and on a day when you thought you'd have the day off.
I get what you mean, but it's not the same when it's family. And you've seen how great they get along.
Sure, but I'm hoping Kiera isn't causing too much difficulty for Ariel. You know how unhappy she gets even when we merely drop her off at preschool.
I'm confident everything will be okay. Kiera is undoubtedly ecstatic to be with Ariel. I don't anticipate any issues.
Do you truly believe Ariel is capable of babysitting? You realize she's a touch odd, right?
Yeah, she's an unmarried woman living with a slew of dogs, so she's certainly unusual. If you ask me, she's essentially a hermit.
She's a bit of a recluse, but I adore her home. There's also a small creek nearby. I've always thought that would be a great area for a child to play outside.
You could be correct about some of that. Kiera, in fact, became really enthusiastic when I told her that we were heading there. By the way, how are you doing? Are you having a good time?
Yes, we're having so much fun catching up. We've only just arrived at the restaurant.
Okay, do you mind if I message you right now? I understand if you want to talk later since you're out.
Oh, my friend just gone to the bathroom, so I have some time to text.
Nice. So, after the two of you have finished eating, do you have any exciting plans?
I imagined we'd just wander around some of the tourist attractions. We're eating a light lunch, so we'll probably order something else later.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm delighted you're able to do all of this.
Well, thank you so much for volunteering to keep an eye on Kiera, even if it didn't turn out the way we expected. Anyway, good luck with your work. I'm sorry you had to work on your day off.
Yes, there was just one client who insisted on having some items done by Monday morning, so we didn't really have a choice. I'm very sorry. I thought I'd be able to stay at home with Kiera all day.
It appears that you had no say in this situation, but that's fine. You shouldn't be concerned. But I guess that means I need to go see Ariel and thank her for keeping an eye on Kiera. On the same day. Are you there, Ariel? I was wondering if Bernie had already paid you a visit today.
Hey, sis. I don't think I've seen Bernie today. Why you inquire?
I'm curious if he's still working, but it's too late. I apologize for keeping you with Kiera right now.
What exactly do you mean?
I mean, I know she can be a handful, but in any case, I'm on my way to pick her up from you right now. And I just wanted to apologize for asking you to watch her at such short notice.
Oh no, I'm still completely perplexed. Do you believe I have Kiera? Because I'm sad to say I don't.
However, Bernie informed me that he had left her with you.
Is that what he said? I hadn't seen him or Kiera all day.
Bernie was supposed to stay at home with Kiera since I had plans with a friend, but he got called in for work. So he informed me that he left her with you because he couldn't watch her any longer. That is why I'm on my way to your house right now.
I'm truly sorry, but I don't know what to say to you. I had some errands to run, so I wasn't home all day. He may have tried to come up to see me, but I was most likely not home.
However, he informed me that he had left Kiera with you. He claimed you had her.
That is truly strange. You don't think he'd just leave her on my doorstep and driven away, do you?
He would never do something like that. We're talking about our 3-year-old daughter, after all. He wouldn't do that, would he?
I sincerely hope he doesn't. That's insane.
Please wait a moment as I take a phone call.
So, while you're on the phone, I'm going to go around my house and see if I can't figure out what's going on.
I'm very sorry for everything. I have no idea what's going on. Thank you for looking into it. On the same day.
Oh, I just got off work. What a fantastic day. Have you picked up Kiera from Ariel's yet?
I was about to go pick her up until I realized I didn't have to.
What exactly do you mean? Did Ariel wind up driving Kiera back to our place?
No. I went to pick up Kiera.
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. What do you mean?
I simply meant that I picked Kiera up from the police station rather than Ariel's house.
Wait, Kiera was in the police station. But why is that? Is there something going on?
If you're curious, the cops called me. They said they had snatched her up and were holding her.
What exactly does this mean?
Kiera was apparently discovered roughly 2 kilometers distant from Ariel's home. They stated that she appeared to have been wandering for hours. So tell me what's going on, since I thought you left Kiera with my sister. Why was Kiera discovered wandering around by herself?
What do you mean? That's not my fault. I did as I stated and brought her to Ariel's house.
Ariel was gone much of the day running errands?
So, Ariel wasn't even home for most of the day?
Yes, she wasn't. So, would you mind telling me what you did with Kiera?
So I drove her to Ariel's house, dropped her off, walked her to the front door, rang the doorbell, and then drove away. I thought she was home.
So you just left our daughter there without even checking to see if anyone was home? Are you mad?
I'm truly sorry. I truly believe she was at home. This is all a massive mistake, I swear.
This is unbelievable. What made you think that was a good idea? Why would you abandon her like that? Were you late for anything?
I believe I was so anxious about work and couldn't stop thinking about it, so I didn't bother checking to see if anyone was home. I'm truly sorry.
Ariel told me everything. She was faster than I was in getting to the police station.
So, I assume you two are now together?
That's correct. Ariel has some things she wants to express to you as well. Ariel texts Bernie on Rosalind's phone.
Hello, this is Ariel. I was simply letting you know that I arrived to the police station before Rosalind. I sat with Kiera until she arrived.
I just wanted to thank you so much for accomplishing all of this and apologize for the misunderstanding. I never expected something like this to happen to me.
Rosalind and Kiera are currently eating at my house.
Apparently, the cops offered Kiera some of their food, but I believe she was too terrified to eat.
As a result, she hasn't eaten anything since breakfast.
I'm very sorry for everything. I just don't know what to say about this. I'm so ashamed.
I believe you should apologize to Rosalind and Kiera, don't you?
Of course you are correct. And I will do so the next time I see them.
I do, however, have another question for you. Did you go to work today? Is that all you have to do?
Naturally it was. What else could have prevented me from keeping an eye on my daughter today?
I simply want to make sure you're certain about this. Is that what you claim you were doing?
You obviously have an idea about what I was up to, so why don't you just say it?
I just felt it was strange that you would have been called in on a Sunday. Rosalind, too, felt it was strange.
So, what's the big deal about it? It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. We have a major client that needed some work done today.
Very intriguing. You see, I have an old classmate who works for the same company as you. Do you know who I'm referring to?
Are you referring to Otis? Yes, I recognize him. How about him? We are both employed in the same department.
So I asked him about work today, and he told me that there were some major system upgrades being implemented and that no one was working because of the maintenance. He stated that it would have been difficult for him to complete any work today as a result of this. And yet, you're going to sit there and claim that you went to work today?
Wait a second, or are you trying to tell me that you were checking to see if I was speaking the truth about going to work today?
Perhaps. But don't you think I was justified in doing so? After all, I wouldn't have discovered your secret if I hadn't.
Ariel, hold on a second. Do you think we could discuss this in private, please?
And keep Rosalind out of this crucial discussion. I'm afraid we won't be able to do so.
But I simply wanted to say that I don't believe we need to go out and give Rosalind any more shocks today.
We're gonna talk about everything right now, okay?
Okay, you're correct. I lied about being in the office today since I didn't go to work. The fact is that I had an appointment with someone.
And who exactly was this person? Is she a secret lover? If you're talking so vaguely about who they are, it must be.
I wouldn't say she's my lover, but that appears to be overkill.
Nobody seems to care what titles you and this woman have chosen. The truth is that you're still seeing someone else.
That is correct. We first met 2 years ago. She was just my type, and the two of us got along great.
I apologize, but I don't recall asking how you two met or what you do together. I just wanted you to say you were cheating.
Okay, fine. We did, however, go on dates and even spend the night together on occasion.
I knew,
I'd really like to speak with Rosalind about this, so could you just hand her the phone right now?
You are welcome to try to talk to her, but I don't think she's going to listen to a word you have to say.
Please allow me to speak with my wife, okay?
Ariel then handed back the phone to Rosalind. Rosalind here? I'm sure you believed your little secret would never get out, didn't you? And why are you so keen to look after Kiera? I suppose it was simply an excuse to meet up with this gal, huh?
Please allow me to explain myself. That's all I ask.
And what else is there to say?
I understand why you're furious, and I just want you to know that I never intended to put Kiera in danger, you know that? I'm just feeling like a terrible father right now.
So, I think meeting up with this other woman was more essential to you than Kiera's safety, right?
She messaged me out of the blue this morning, and she appeared irritated with me. I didn't want anything awful to happen, so I knew I needed to meet her this morning to attempt to make things right.
Is that the best you can come up with?
You don't get it. She was attempting to convince me that I should divorce you. I was afraid she'd tell you about us if I didn't do something to calm her down. That's why I had to see her today. She threatened to end our relationship if I did not come see her.
So, if you didn't divorce your wife, you were basically going to make things worse for yourself with this other woman?
I regret meeting her. I should have blocked her right immediately.
Is that true? It's difficult for me to accept that after she threatened to end your relationship.
You have to love her a lot to accomplish it.
But I don't love her nearly as much as I love you. You have to trust me.
Bernie, I don't want to hear your pitiful explanations. In fact, you are free to marry her if you so desire.
No way. I'm not going to marry her. I don't like her like that because she's only a fling. She could never be a decent partner to me, which is why I want to end things with her.
You keep repeating that, yet your actions continue to speak to the contrary.
To be honest, I like her face, but the rest of her is really mediocre. She also comes from a low-income household and works a lot of evenings. When you think about it, she's really bad all over.
I'm not sure whether you realize how terrible you sound talking about someone else in that way, huh?
What precisely do you mean? I'm not saying those things about you. Don't you see that I prefer you than her?
Did you truly believe that criticizing your secret lover would make me feel better about myself? If that was your intention, prepare for a surprise. But I suppose I now know what kind of person you are.
I just wanted you to know that I genuinely don't want to marry her. I was merely explaining why. You're the only woman I love.
I don't want to think about you at all. Do you realize how bad you are?
Please, Rosalind, don't be like this. I'm sure we can work it out.
You're a terrible, terrible man.
I don't think you should be furious with me. Instead, we should be mad at this other woman for getting in our way.
Okay, then give me her phone number.
You want her phone number? But what will you do with it?
So I'll phone her and tell her I'm your wife. I'll also inform her that I'll be leaving you and that she may have you all to herself if she so desires.
You're not going to divorce me. But why? We don't need to go that far, do we?
Of course I'm divorcing you. Did you honestly believe I would forgive you after everything you've done to this family?
Rosalind, please don't behave like this. This does not have to be the end of it. I have the ability to change. I guarantee I'll improve.
Just give me her phone number and I'll leave the rest up to you two to discuss.
You can't be this serious, can you?
I guess you won't know unless you give me her phone number.
Okay. I'll provide you with her phone number. Just attempt to persuade her to avoid me.
And since I don't want to see you today, I'm going to remain at Ariel's place.
I get it. But you're going to return home, right?
Who knows? Perhaps I'll just stay and live there. It would be preferable to moving back in with you. Following that, I called my husband's secret lover and we had a short talk. I told her everything he said about marrying her, even showed her screenshots of the messages. Apparently, Bernie had pledged to marry this woman one day, so she was taken aback by what she saw. In fact, I believe she started to dislike him at that point. The divorce was completed quickly. He pays me alimony and child support every month and may only see Kiera twice a month on supervised visits. I've been living with Ariel ever since and haven't given Bernie any thought.
Hey Mom, what time are you coming home tonight? Are you going to make it home for dinner?
It looks like I'll be leaving on time today. Is there anything in the fridge? I can buy something on my way home.
We're all set. I went shopping. I can make something simple, like pasta maybe?
Thank you, Camila. You're a godsend. You're so helpful around the house, and that helps me so much at work, too. You're too good to be true, my sweets.
Stop it, Mom. I'll make pasta, okay? It's not a big deal.
Okay. Did you do your homework?
Yes. I'm done. My new homeroom teacher is really strict. She makes you stand in the back of the class if you don't do your homework. I think she doesn't like me, too.
What? Isn't she that young teacher that started this year?
Yes. It's her first year teaching. So we all thought she would be cool, you know. But I guess not. She's crazy scary. Jen was getting yelled at for something today, and it was totally not her fault. I tried to speak up for her, but then she started yelling at me too.
Oh. This could be a problem. I want to hear all about it when I get home.
Okay. I'll see you soon. I can't wait to dig into some delicious pasta.
Good evening. This is Daisy Richards. I'm sorry to contact you so late, but you never answered my calls.
Daisy, you're Camila's homeroom teacher? Is everything okay at school?
Mrs. Rose, am I correct in understanding that you are a single mother?
Excuse me? What does that have to do with anything?
So you're a low-income single-parent home. Is that correct?
Wait just a second. Is this some sort of joke?
A joke? No, of course not.
Then are you trying to provoke me? To what end?
Oh, nothing like that. Please don't misunderstand my intentions. I'm just confirming the facts. You are a low-income single-parent home, struggling to make ends meet. And this led to Camila developing an abrasive attitude. That's what I want to confirm.
I am so offended I'm at a loss for words.
That's fine. I knew already. I'm just double-checking the facts. It's clear to me now why your daughter is so defiant. That's the unfortunate outcome of being from a single-parent home.
How dare you speak this way to a parent? My daughter is not defiant.
I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Like mother, like daughter.
Daisy, I think we need to have a chat in person. This is not a discussion to have via text. I'm busy with some business trips this week, so I'll go in for a meeting next week. I'll call to make an appointment.
Oh, don't worry about it. Being a single mom, I'm sure you can't afford to take time off work.
That's so rude.
Oh, but maybe we will have to set up a meeting. If Camila continues down this path, she's bound to get into trouble. Then we'll have to call her parents in. Oh, sorry, parent.
What are you accusing Camila of anyway? Never mind, it's no use discussing it now. I'll adjust my schedule and make a visit to the school next week. We'll discuss this in great detail at that time, believe me.
Mom! I'm in trouble.
What is it? Are you okay? You're supposed to be staying at Uncle Jimmy's while I'm on my trip. Did something happen?
Yes. I'm at Uncle Jimmy's house. Everything's fine. The problem is school. The class's lunch money went missing from the teacher's desk. I'm getting blamed for stealing it.
What? Why you? You wouldn't do anything like that, right?
Of course not. I didn't even know it was in her desk. I thought it's taken to the office right after it's collected. I've never even heard of the money being kept in the classroom. The whole thing is really fishy.
That is a little strange.
But Miss Daisy says that she left the money in her desk. And she insists that I was the one that stole it.
Your homeroom teacher, again? Why is she singling you out as the culprit? You did tell her you didn't do it, right?
Of course I told her I didn't do it. And I said that it's not fair to be pointing fingers without any proof. But she wouldn't believe me. She says she needs to talk with you tomorrow. I asked them to call Uncle Jimmy since you were busy at work.
No, that's okay. I need to be there. This has gone far enough. I'll tell Uncle Jimmy I'm going. Camila, don't you worry about a thing.
Everything's going to be all right.
Daisy, I need a word with you.
Oh, I heard you can't make it tomorrow. You're on a business trip? You can't even make time to deal with your child's criminal behavior?
Camila says she didn't do it. Why did you leave such a large sum of money in the classroom to begin with?
That's none of your business. It's just administrative policy.
What policy? Explain it to me. Why don't you tell me the truth? You look down on our family for being a single-parent household. And now you're accusing my daughter Camila with no proof whatsoever.
I am surprised you would speak to your daughter's teacher this way. Ugh. Please try to stay civil in our talks, okay? This is why I hate single-parent homes. In order to create the ideal civil classroom I aspire to, I need to remove the bad apples. Camila is defiant and audacious. She's constantly talking back and being problematic. She's a typical miscreant with no respect for her teachers.
I've never been told anything of the sort about Camila. I am very involved in her life, and she is doing excellent at school and has many friends.
You're a little biased, being her mother. I'll be requiring an apology letter from each of you, 2,000 words, Times New Roman double-spaced.
An apology letter?
About your daughter's criminal actions and your crude attitude toward me. I think it's quite generous of me.
Do you now?
Oh, and I'll need you to compensate for the stolen lunch fees. It was Camila who took it, and you need to take responsibility for it.
She didn't take it. Do you have any proof?
Please don't try to drag this out. We've established that you're a struggling single mother. It's obvious Camila stole the money. If you are not going to write a formal apology letter, I will report this matter to the police.
Really? Do you know who I am?
What?
I suppose we've never met in person, so you didn't recognize me. And I'm guessing you haven't read the student information all that carefully.
What are you trying to say? Just get to the point, will you?
Patronizing me for being a single mother and blaming Camila for theft. Asking for a written apology from both of us? Based on your one-sided opinion. I should have been more careful when I hired you.
What kind of game are you playing at? You think you can just mock your daughter's teacher? I can see where your daughter gets her attitude problem from.
My name is Rose Walters.
Good for you.
You don't recognize my name? I am the superintendent to the school you work at.
What? Superintendent?
I'm not at the school day today and don't interact with the staff much. I wasn't there for your interview either. But we've met at least once, at the first assembly of the year. I made a speech. Were you not listening?
I'm confused. You're saying you're the superintendent and Camila's your daughter?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Do you still not get it?
So, I'm speaking now. To the superintendent? Rose Walters. The superintendent of the school?
You seem a little rattled.
No,
Are you nervous because I'm your boss's boss? I understand. You handpicked my daughter to be blamed for a theft in your classroom. That's some heavy stuff.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. Maybe it was my mistake.
Maybe?
No, it was my mistake. I'm terribly sorry for all the trouble.
It wasn't a mistake, was it? I think you concocted this whole story as some kind of appraisal for standing up for her friend. Isn't that right?
No. Ma'am. I didn't mean it like that. I was doing my job as a teacher and trying to educate my classroom through discipline.
Your job? I don't think your job is to shove your warped view of order down the children's throats.
I didn't mean it to be that way. I never thought that a superintendent's daughter would be in my class. I had no idea. Please forgive me.
It's not about her being my daughter. Have you ever considered how immensely your words and actions affect your students? It affects their school life and character development. Your actions are not appropriate for any student, not just my daughter.
I understand. I stand corrected. I acted immaturely. I shouldn't have accused Camila like that.
I don't know what you have against single-parent homes. But I've been a parent for 13 years, and never have I been insulted like this. Calling my daughter a criminal based on your outlandish assumptions. Coming from a teacher, no less.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen. I was out of line. Please excuse my actions. I'll go to your house to apologize in person. I'll write an apology letter. I'll do anything. I'll apologize to Camila, too.
That won't be necessary.
What? What do you mean?
I can't have someone like you in charge of my daughter's education. I'm having a different teacher put in charge of her class at the very least.
But everything was just starting to come together.
I doubt that's the case. Keeping kids behaving well in a dictatorship is not good leadership.
But the school year just started. I'm still getting the hang of things.
First, we need to resolve the lunch money issue. Is it true that the money went missing from your desk?
Yes, it's true. But it was my responsibility. I don't blame any of my students. I will compensate for the missing money. I haven't told the principal about this yet. I can fix this.
Why haven't you told the principal? A theft in the classroom is a serious problem, Ms. Daisy. Why are you trying to resolve it yourself?
I thought it was my duty as a teacher.
It seems you have no idea what a teacher's duties are. Enough! You failed to report a significant incident, behaved inappropriately and rashly. This conversation is over. I will discuss your reprimand with the school.
My reprimand? No! Please. I'll take care of it.
That's not happening. You called one of your students a criminal and demanded written apologies. Even threatened to call the police. You are not getting out of this lightly. Goodbye. Ms. Daisy. You'd better start looking for a new job. Not as a teacher, of course. Subsequently, Daisy expressed deep remorse to Rose, going so far as to compose an extensive letter of apology. She went to the extent of composing a distinct letter addressed to Camila, and she penned it while in the presence of the entire class. Subsequently, it came to light that Daisy was indeed the individual responsible for taking the lunch money. She received an immediate punitive discharge as a consequence. Evidently, she fabricated the entire scenario as a means to retaliate against Camila for defending her friend. Such a disgraceful educator and despicable individual. Her images and details from the arrest were exposed on social media, causing her to become a viral symbol of a problematic teacher. Following the extensive negative publicity, it's highly unlikely that any school would consider hiring her in the future. Rose resolved to participate in all interviews for potential new teachers and take a more active role in the hiring procedure, with the intention of preventing such mistakes from occurring in the future. The positive aspect is that, liberated from the influence of Daisy's distorted approach to discipline, Camila and the rest of her classmates were establishing a harmonious
Hey Alexa. It's been a while, right? Are you there? Come on, just respond already. It's not like I'm contacting you at midnight or something.
Hi, Amy.
Oh, there you are. Why you are so slow in replying to me?
Well, I only just finished up with work for the day, so I couldn't look at my phone until now. Yeah, it really has been a long time. We haven't seen each other since we graduated high school.
Yeah, I know. It's been way too long. So you're telling me you're still hard at work? I'm surprised.
I mean, yeah, of course. What's so surprising about that? I've worked really hard to land this job. It's the one I've been aiming for a long time.
I thought you would be the type who would want to end up being a stay-at-home mom or something.
What made you think that?
Well, you got married to the son of CEO, right?
Yeah, his father is the CEO of one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the industry. But it's not like I only married him for his money or something. I'd never do something like that. Wait a minute. Why do you know that? How do you know a lot about my private life?
Oh, you don't know that. With the intelligence network I have at my disposal, it's actually quite simple. To be honest, I was so surprised when hearing that news. For someone like you whose only quality was her book smarts, I couldn't believe you managed to marry into so much money.
Emmy, you make it sound like I only married him for his money. Like I said, it's not the truth.
Is that a hint of arrogance I sense? Are you trying to say that you're doing better than I am?
What? Where did you get that idea? I had no intention of doing anything like that.
Yeah, you'd be trying to pull off any kind of bragging. You made me get worried about how I'd respond.
Yeah, whatever. I don't want to explain more.
Anyways, I wanted to ask you about one thing. I hope you could do it for me.
Well, it depends on how is that request.
I wanted to ask you about could you give me that rich husband?
I'm sorry? Are you seriously asking that?
Yes, I think so. I pretty clearly stated it. I want you to give me your rich husband.
You made me speechless. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Why are you acting so weird about? I mean, the son of the president of a company is practically a celebrity. I just feel like his potential is just completely wasted on a plain boring woman like you. That's all. I feel like he'd be better suited to someone whose hard and looks are pretty and glittery. Someone like me totally suits him a lot better than you do.
Sorry, I didn't respond for a second. I needed to restart my brain after seeing the absurdity of what you wrote. Before I can even try to delve into your nonsense, I've got to ask, have you actually met my husband?
Nope.
So you're just asking me to hand him over to you without ever having seen him? Are you crazy?
What's wrong with that? It's fine, isn't it? He's got such a prestigious position that there's enough value in getting him as a husband.
Your thinking is just wrong. What is wrong with you? What do you mean there's enough value? Do you really take marrying someone that lightly? And that's not even going into how wrong it is for you to just openly ask to take someone's husband from them without even having seen them.
What are you going on about? Stop acting like I'm trying to do something unspeakable. All I'm doing is giving you advice. Ask someone who is much prettier than you, you should take my advice. I'm telling you, someone like him is much more well suited to be with someone who matches his level.
What? I don't need your advice. It doesn't make sense at all.
No, I'm just telling you what should be common knowledge. Don't you know anything about what society is really like? I mean, isn't it obvious that a man used to a luxury life would want a wife that matches that luxury style? You can't tell me. You don't understand it. I bet he just got some circumstances surrounding him where he just felt like he needed to settle for marrying someone like you. I know that if I were to appear in front of him, he would fall in love with me in an instant. If you just stay quiet and out of the way, you don't even have to do much to give him up. Just let me do my work and he'll come to me on his own. Then I'll be right by his side as we start to live such a gorgeous life together.
I don't know what to say now. You must be out of your mind. No matter what you say, I am not divorcing my husband. And it's not just because we love each other. Not only are we husband and wife, but we're also business partners. If I were to use your wording, I would say that I am the only one who deserves to be by his side.
Excuse me.
I will not just let you walk all over me with your selfish. You're an adult now. I highly suggest you start acting like it. Don't you start naively talking like you know how the world works.
I don't care if you think I'm naive.
I think you just need to accept that the world doesn't revolve around you.
What's wrong with you? Some plain woman like you acting like she can appreciate the kind of life she has. I hope you know that you're not going to beat me on this. I am going to take your husband from you. I deserve what's the best for me. I will make you pay dearly for denying me. Hey Alexa.
Oh, you again?
You're on your honeymoon, right?
I don't see how that's irrelevant. What do you want?
Well, after looking into lots of popular honeymoon spots, I finally caught up to you. I've tracked you down.
Excuse me? You did what?
Aren't you still a little nervous? I know you haven't seen your husband since yesterday.
Why do you ask?
Well, I thought you might be able to guess. He's with me right now. Surprise?
What?
I mean, honestly, your husband was just too easy. I just made a cute little face, and from then on he couldn't keep his eyes off me. And he just came home with me.
I'm sorry?
Well, we've been having quite a bit of fun together. I guess that's just a way of saying I stole your honeymoon from you.
So what are you talking about? Anyway, if you think you're talking about my husband, well, sorry to disappoint you, but he's right here next to me.
Of course you'd say something like that trying to hide how much pain you're feeling. I'm struggling not to laugh at how sad that is going on. Enjoy your little Hawaii trip alone now.
I see you're wrong in more ways than one. We are nowhere near Hawaii.
Sure. Just keep going on with the little steps to try to hide your broken heart. It's not good to bottle up your negative emotions for so long, so you should cut it out soon. It's gonna hurt more later.
I think it'll hurt for you more if you don't start accepting that you really screwed up. Not that I really expect you'll ever believe me.
Excuse me?
Like I already told. There's no way I'd ever divorce my husband and give him to you. And he is saying that he's never once thought about leaving me either.
Oh really now?
Well, I don't really understand what sort of enjoyment you're getting out of trying to rile me up. But my husband's telling me that he has a visceral hatred for women like you. And there's no way he would even look at you, let alone fall for you.
That's totally hilarious. You really come up with lots of crazy things to say. The man who's been with me the best parts of me would never say something like that about me. Especially not after I just had such a hot night together. And of course he's right next to me right now. So I know you're lying.
Either your information network is way off the mark or you need to get your eyes checked. Are you sure you're not mistaking him for someone else? Well, anyway, my husband and I have things to do together, so...
Yeah, run along now and cry it out already. Go on and enjoy your heartbreaking single trip. Hi there. Alexa? How is this going? I've heard some really good news that I just had to ask you about. I heard your husband divorced you.
You seriously haven't given up on this yet? I'd really like to just ignore you and let you live your life in your own little mistaken world. But seriously, what are you trying to do by trying to get me angry so much? What's your goal here?
What? I'm not doing something like that. Don't make it sound like I'm doing something mean. I'm with my fated partner, who's supposed to become my husband. He only married to you by accident. All I did was get him back from you to fix the mistake. And now things can go as they were supposed to from the start.
Every time you text me, I'm astonished at how utterly clueless you are. Every time you text me, I'm astonished at how utterly clueless you are. What are you even talking about? How can someone you've literally never met be your fated partner? There's no reason to believe that could ever happen.
I'm starting to think you're the completely clueless one here. I'm telling you, your ex-husband is here, with me right now. We just filed our marriage registration. How can you continue to be stuck in denial?
I don't know if you can call it denial. I can't tell how imaginary you are. Really, we haven't even gotten divorced.
Well, you are so stupid, Alexa. You should change your surname in stupid now. Alexa Stupid. That means he divorced you without you knowing.
What? You don't make no sense at all. Anyway, I don't want to lengthen your stupid story. You must be next to someone now, right?
I've told you a bunch of times already. I'm with your ex-husband. This is the first time I've been with someone I just have such good chemistry with. Sam is so great. I'm in love with him so much. Getting married to him is the best choice in my life.
Oh, his name is Sam, right?
Yeah, don't tell me that you forget your husband's name. Such a useless wife ever.
Well, I have to tell you something. Sorry to disappoint you, but my husband's name is not Sam.
What? Are you kidding me? You got the same surname as him. Sam Cruz. And you are Alexa Cruz. Tell me, how am I wrong for that? Oh, I know you are just making things up. Stop it, Alexa. It doesn't work for me.
Okay, I will tell you more clearly. My husband's name is Peter. Peter Cruz. And by the way, we're in the UK right now. Our company is going to open a branch in London, and so we have moved to the UK for the past 2 years. In fact, we did throw a honeymoon in Hawaii. But due to some businesses, we had to flight back to UK not long after that. But that trip was 2 months ago. Maybe due to that fact that I have just posted these images on social media recently. You are literally the stupid one.
Really? You must be lying to me?
No, Emmy. I'm dead serious right now. There is no point for me in lying.
But who the foo is the guy I got married to?
Well, I can't say. I have never heard the name you mentioned. So why were you so utterly convinced that guy was my husband anyway?
I talked to him in front of that hotel in Hawaii. After he talked to you for a while, it seemed like he was storming off somewhere to do something on his own. So I thought that was my chance to nab him. That's when I seduced him and invited him to my room.
Wait a minute. Could you be talking about that one lanky guy with bleached blonde hair who was wearing some jacket with a super gaudy design?
Yes, that's him. I remember that jacket. I remember thinking you couldn't possibly appreciate something that flashy. So you did know who I was talking about?
I mean, I saw the guy. But I have no idea who is that guy.
What? How could you not know him? How? I don't understand.
Well, I can only guess a little bit.
Just tell me. Who is this?
Maybe he is the guy who flirted me when I was in that hotel. We just had a chat for a short time. Oh, I remembered that we got the surname. What a coincidence!
I still don't understand.
Well, my husband and I were on our way to the airport. So it was when we were checking out of our hotel. The thing is Peter, my husband, forgot something back in our room, so I waited in the hotel lobby while he went to get it. That's when that guy approached me and started trying to hit me up. But once I told him that I was a married woman on my honeymoon, he started looking annoyed. And when I told him that my husband would be back shortly, he stormed off in a huff, grumbling under his breath. That's all the extent of my knowledge of this guy.
Can't believe it. I got married into a random man.
Well, that certainly sounds like that to me.
What I really did.
But is that really a problem if you adore him as much as you make it sound? Isn't that fine anyway?
No. It's all wrong. I thought I could steal your gold mine from you. I was going to secure myself a life of luxury by taking him for myself. I did everything I could for the past 3 months to get him to love me. And now you're telling me it was just for some worthless guy. How could this happen to me? I don't deserve this. Please, Alexa. Can you help me? I don't want to bury me life with this man. I did a very big mistake.
But how? How can I get you out of your problem? You should do it by your own.
Please, Alexa. You doing business, so you must know a lot good lawyers. Can you let them get out of this stupid marriage?
Are you for real? You got what you deserved, Emmy. No one can help you.
Alexa.
After that, I blocked Emmy's number. Alexa couldn't stand still in that marriage, and then she filed for divorce with her great husband. Ironically, she had to share her assets for this man after the court. It must be a big lesson for her. I'm so lucky not to have spent any second of my—
Hey Hazel. We need to talk. Text me right back when you got the message.
Zoe? How are you doing? What can I help you, Mom?
Oh, you've replied. Thanks God. But what happened with your work?
I'm actually in the middle of work now. But I'm just taking a quick coffee break. I thought I'd reply back since it seemed a bit urgent. So what is this all about?
Well, that's funny. I was under the assumption that you had finally submitted your resignation letter or something. I thought you would have quit your job.
Well, I do like my job here. So why do you text me?
Well, I do expect you to do as you're told, seeing as you're my daughter-in-law. If I tell you to reply to my text messages, I expect an immediate reply. If I tell you to cook for me, then you'd cook for me right away. Isn't that what respecting your in-laws is all about?
Right. So, is there something you want to tell me?
By the way, let me tell you something I heard on a TV show the other day.
Okay.
So apparently young people these days have a sneaky way of reading text messages without having to actually read the text. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm not so sure.
Meaning that the recipient will be able to read the texts without the sender finding out. I suppose it's so that the sender won't be bothered if they get a late reply. Well, I can't think of any other reason as to why anyone wouldn't reply to a text immediately, but to each their own.
Oh, I know that trick.
Well, I'm glad that you're not the type of person to do that.
Yeah. So.
Oh, sorry for going off track. I just forget things in a split second even during mid-conversation. So I'm actually at your house at the moment.
Really? What are you doing there? Is Peter with you?
Actually, Peter is at work now. So I'll wait till he gets home. I know Peter tells me he's fine on the phone, but you never really know how someone's doing until you've seen and spoken to them in person, right? So I just come over and see how he is doing. I hope that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you come round to the house at least every month. So it'll be weird if you stopped coming over. Anyway, what can I do for you here? Did you want to ask me something?
Oh, I didn't know that it was a problem for me to see my son.
Oh, no. I didn't mean it like that. I can absolutely understand how worried you'd be when your son is not in your sight. If I were you, I would be worried too.
Peter is my beloved son. I'd fall sick if I don't see him for even just a day. Once you have children, you will understand, Hazel.
Yeah.
By the way, do you plan to have a baby?
Oh, what's that?
Oh, I went off track again. Sorry.
I think you texted me to either ask me something or.
That's right.
I'm all ears.
What time are you coming home tonight?
Let me check my planner. Hold on a second. Okay, I should be home at around 6:30 p.m. tonight. Would you like to stay at ours for dinner?
Oh, no need to worry about that. I'll cook for all of us tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. My husband loves your dishes you cook.
Yeah. But I need you to buy something before you come home. Is that okay?
Sure. What do you need?
First, 5 kilograms of cheese.
What? 5 kilograms?
Yes, why not?
Do you really need much cheese to cook for dinner?
Yeah, just buy what I say. Second, 5 kilograms of pasta.
I think these are too much for 3 of us.
What? Don't be silly. I have my way of cooking.
So, you really need all of that?
What's wrong with you? If I didn't, why I have to ask you to buy?
But what do you need it for? Because it doesn't sound like you need all of that for just a meal for 3 people.
Well, you're right about that. I'd be crazy to have all of that for just a family meal.
Then what are they for?
It's to give to my neighbors as Christmas gifts.
Christmas gifts?
Yes. I have no idea what some of them need or want. And I don't intend to overthink it since they're just for my neighbors. Anyone could use more cheese and pasta, right? So it's a perfect idea for a gift. Do you think so?
Yeah, I see.
I did that last Christmas and everyone seemed to love it. Don't worry, dear. Just get them for me and that'll be all right.
Okay. But by the way, is there a specific brand or type of cheese you want me to get?
Feel free to choose whichever one you like. I don't mind that. Oh, I almost forgot. Could you also get 10 cans of chopped tomatoes? Choose whichever one is the cheapest.
Okay, pasta and cheapest can of chopped tomatoes.
And get around 20 empty cardboard boxes.
20 boxes?
Yeah. Thanks, darling. You're a sweetheart.
Zoe? What is all this?
What?
What's all this in front of the house? These pile of boxes and bags with things inside?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, could you come and open the door, please? My hands are full and you've got to see this for yourself.
Oh, I can't, darling. I'm a bit tied up here.
Okay, well now I've looked inside and a lot of these things are mine. In fact, they're all mine. Who did this?
I honestly have no idea. I just remember throwing out some trash. Were they yours? Oh, I'm sorry, Hazel. Peter and I thought they were all trash, so we just put them all out.
Trash? What the heck are you doing?
Excuse me? What is it with all of the profanity all a sudden?
No, it's not all of a sudden. I've been nice to you all these years. But this is the last straw. No more playing nice to you. I've had enough with your harassment.
Well, if you are going to be that way, let me tell you something. I'll let you know how much I've hated your guts. I never liked you since Pete introduced me to you. So it's about time you got what you deserved. I knew Peter should have never married a foolish woman like you.
Me? Am I the one who threw all of someone's things out on the streets? No. That's you.
See? That filthy mouth of yours. I hope it hasn't rubbed off onto Peter as well. You're a terrible influence on him.
I'm the terrible influence? How about you for being the big old cockalorum?
What? Please don't be so dramatic. All I'm saying is that ever since Pete married you, he hardly comes to visit me at my house. And then over the past year, we've started spending some more time together for some reason. And I realized that all this time you were the one holding him back from seeing me.
A year ago? Right, well, that makes sense.
How does that make sense? What do you mean?
Oh, never mind.
This is you. You're pulling the strings behind my back. Torturing me. Keeping my son away from me. Those boxes are there so that you can move out of this house and leave me and my family alone.
What? Are you being serious?
When are you ever going to get it into your head that a wife is to stay at home and be a good housewife? But look at you. Always talking about work and work. As if you don't have a family to take care of. Poor Peter. He looks after him while you're at work.
What? He's a 38-year-old man. He's perfectly capable of taking care of himself on his own. Besides, what kind of conservative values do you have? Maybe in your days, you had to be a boring stay-at-home wife. But if you step outside into the real world, things are way different. You're way behind. Most married couples have jobs. It's called having a double income. Ever heard of it?
Well, that doesn't explain why you have to be so ugly.
Excuse me?
That's right. Had you been slightly prettier or even nice to look at? I wouldn't have to say this out loud, but look at you. There's nothing in you that makes people want to get to know you. There's nothing in you that would make people compliment you. I can't believe that my handsome son is married to an ugly cow like you.
How superficial and materialistic can you be? And you think you're one to talk? Who do you think you are?
Well, you clearly don't even have any talents either. The meals you cook are always mediocre at best. The housework is never done perfectly. What kind of man would want to be with someone like you? So take those boxes with you and leave us alone. And the cheese and pasta and everything else that you brought back. I will tell Peter to get divorced with you.
What? Divorce?
Yes. You can never step inside our house. But if you are about to beg me, I'll tell you that. Peter will hold off on the divorce if you change your attitude and become a better wife to him.
What? Peter? That idiot of a husband who earns chump change?
How dare you speak about my son like that? Let alone your husband. You're crazy.
It's funny, though, Zoe. Your Peter's always been a mama's boy. I thought he'd grow some balls once we got married. But clearly he hasn't. I can't imagine living with him for the rest of my life. So I'll happily divorce him. Let me get rid of him along with the house. That's what I call killing two birds with one stone.
Hold on a second. Selling the house? Why would you do that? Are you insane?
This house is mine. My grandparents refurbished it. What made you think it belonged to Peter with his income? No way he can afford to live here.
What? That can't be true. He told me it was his house.
You can ask him again. Maybe this man forget the most important part. Your son earns less than his wife and he's a liar. Are you proud of him?
How dare you?
By the way, you may move out of the house now. You better move out of my house. This house is already up for sale. So it won't be too long till the new owner takes over. It'll take just about a month till the new owner gets the key to the house.
A month? How do you expect us to find a place and move out in a month? Since when did you put the house up for sale?
Since I found out that you and Peter were trying to sabotage me. You're not as loved by your family as much as you think you are, Zoe.
What do you mean?
Let's just say that I had a helping hand.
Who is that?
To know this, you'd better ask your husband.
My husband? Why is he involved in these things?
Father-in-law is a very kind person. It's him who told me about your plan to force me away my house.
What? What a jerk.
Don't say that. I will bring father-in-law to live with me. You always look down on him, he never needs a wife like you. So, now. Move away my house. Pack your things and leave my house, you cow.
Is that why you were acting so weird earlier? All of those weird, strange reactions you were giving, it's because you knew what was coming? And you were hiding it from me?
Oh, that was fun trying to wind you up. And you know what? I even bought anything at supermarket. No can, no box, and no cheese.
You.
Don't make me say it again. Pack up and leave.
What? Why all these things happen all of a sudden? I can't get it.
You spoil Peter to be a mama boy. And these all things are the outcome you got. You guys are meant to stay together longer. Good luck.
Hazel. I'm not done with you yet. I never forgive you.
My life now is free. But I regret to spend precious time in my life for such toxic people. After that, I blocked Zoe's number just to avoid having any contact with her. My father-in-law apparently got the gossip about them from the old neighbors. According to that, my ex-husband Peter's been fired from his job. And it looks like he's struggling to find a new one. To make ends meet, Zoe had to take a part-time work at the serving customers. She worked all day and night. Well, how pathetic. Despite having lost my marriage, at least I have my kind father-in-law. I'm so